I didn't think I could cut it. I thought I will immediately get a job on air. It's not what I was used to. I'm away from my family. Nothing was really familiar. I remember I cried. To be honest, I didn't think I'd last. I love what I do, and I'm really happy that I stuck it out. Radio is the only medium where you can pick up the phone and instantly connect with us. No other platform can do that. As women, we sometimes tend to not share our accomplishments.
We undersell it.
It's not right. If a man then lists his accomplishments, we all do this. I don't mean that every man is like this, but happens often enough. I would say for women and specifically, be you. I don't know what I'm doing. Existential crisis, is that what they call it? We don't come from a generation of let's enjoy what we've created. Dubai has become a second home, but my heart will always be New York City.
Welcome to Women of Wonder by Reema Mahajan, or WOW Women as we lovingly call it. This is our initiative to bring to you stories of empowered and ambitious women and share their journeys with you so that we can all take inspiration from them. My guest today is very special. She is the famous co-host of the Chris Fade Show every morning, and I think the whole town just knows her. So she doesn't need any more introduction. And with that, Priti, welcome to our show.
Thank you so much. What a sweet introduction. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
I am excited to have you here, and I've been following your journey for a long time now.
Thank you.
I think we'll start from the background.
Sure.
Tell us where you're from and how did you land in the city of Dubai?
Okay, so I'm born and raised in the States from New York City. And Indian parents. My parents immigrated to the States in 1978. I hope I get that right.
Wow.
If I don't, I'm sure my dad will comment and tell me. So, we were born and raised. I have an older sister. We've lived there all our lives. I never thought I would leave New York City, but I ended up getting a job here with the Arabian Radio Network, and I moved here in 2008. So
Wow.
15 years ago.
15 years ago, and you've seen Dubai growing day by day.
Yeah, it was a very different city when
Yeah.
I first came here. And to be honest, I didn't think I'd last.
And how did you last these 15 years? How has the journey been?
So I was 22 when I moved. And, the broadcast world is a very different world.
Yep.
At 22, I was very naive and I thought I will immediately get a job on air, whether it's TV or radio. Very naive. Like, you're 22, you're a kid. Who's going to hire a kid, I was lucky to be raised and born in New York City, but people work their whole lives to be able to work in New York City on TV or radio. So I was very naive to think that, and I had to kind of cast the net wider. But when I moved to Dubai at that time, it was so different. It's not the Dubai that we know now. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It was just a different world at that point. It's just different. And that's how cities mature, right? 15 years is a long time.
Yes.
And I just didn't think I could cut it because I was a young kid. It's not what I was used to. I'm away from my family. I'm away from my friends. Nothing was really familiar. I remember I cried when I saw Starbucks for the first time in Mall of the Emirates.
Amazing.
Because I was like, something American.
I recognize it.
It was just like, I didn't know where I was.
Right.
But I love what I do. And I think I'm really happy that I stuck it out.
So I'd be interested in hearing this story about how you joined the Chris Fade Show. So just to tell you, I was at the NAS Summit. And Chris Fade, he shared the story of how you were the girl who would go every morning and say good morning to him. Did it actually happen that way?
Yeah. So when I moved to Dubai, I was hired as a news reader for Virgin Radio, which was newly launched that year, Dubai 92 and Dubai Eye, which is all part of our network. We're 9 radio stations. And although I'm a journalist by trade, that's what my degree's in, I'm a broadcast journalist by profession, news was never my thing. Hard news was never my thing. I always wanted to be in entertainment. I either want to be an entertainment reporter or the co-host of a breakfast show, radio show, or on TV like Oprah. Big dreams one day. And manifest. And then, so I was just young at that time. And the Virgin Radio crew were new as well. So that was the kind of the team that I related to most. There were a few Americans on the team as well. So I felt like a little bit at home as well. So Chris, all these guys, I just went in and I would just say hi because I was new in town. I'm not a shy girl. I don't know if you could tell. I'm not shy.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make friends in this new city. I'm in this office. There are people a lot older than me. I'm 22 years old. People are probably looking at me like, who is this kid that they've hired on this serious news team, you know? So I just would say hello with no intention of anything more than to just make friends. And Chris and I hit it off truly like that. Like we just became friends. And then one day, that hi and hello that he talked about at the NAS Summit, which is literally me just saying, what's going on? How are you? Need anything? Yes. I used to do the news for their show. So, and at that point, what Chris had done, he was working with a guy called Chad. They said, we don't want any other news reader except for Priti as the voice of the news on our show. So at that time, I was always there in the morning. And one day, they just needed a gossip reporter. Yeah. So Chris was like, yo, why don't you come down and do this? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I love gossip. Yes. And he goes, do you need any help? I was like, no, I got this. So I did this segment. I recorded it with them, and it just flew. Like, it was just flowing. Like, you know, it just worked. The chemistry worked. And then I started doing it every day. Then they said, hey, why don't you come in and do it live on the show? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then it slowly progressed to, hey, why don't you just be the third voice on our show sometimes in the background while still doing your news shift? Yes. And I was like, yeah, of course. And then that slowly progressed to being the co-host.
So you manifested it, and then you grabbed opportunities along the way. Yeah. Where you are.
Yeah, exactly. Is
that a good summary?
Yeah, I think so. You know, my goal in life when I graduated broadcast was, as I said, either be the co-host of a major breakfast show. Co-host, that was really important to me, not the main. That's just the way that I like the dynamic. I like that. Or be on TV some way, somehow. And I never thought I'd reach that co-host goal as young as I did. It was right place, right time. Yes. And yes, the hard work, you know, it just like, as you said, it's manifested, but I put in the work to make it happen as well.
Nothing comes easy. I think I'll completely agree with you. Hard work is the way to go, but opportunities at the right time and at the right place definitely help. 100%. So what is it like co-hosting? You co-host with Chris Wade and Big Rossi every morning. What are the boys like?
Exactly like how you hear. Sometimes I want to pull my hair out.
I've seen you pulling your hair up and almost putting your hands on your face and like, what's happening? What are we talking about? And
it's my job to kind of, it's real. Like, okay, our show is real. Like we are live. The fights that we're having, the arguments that we're having, the laughter, it is all real. Like we are a legit, like if you meet us in person,
it's not scripted. It's not the editing content team telling you, go have a fight today.
What editing content team? Like it's us. We come with our stories. We share our lives. Yes. If Chris and I are fighting, we're fighting for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're actually, these are real conversations that we're having. So I love working with them. Imagine working with your best friend every day. Yes. That's the coolest thing ever.
That's the most amazing. Yeah, that's the most amazing thing.
That's what I do.
Brilliant.
Which is the coolest thing.
And what is Chris Wade like as a person? I know you're very close to him. Yeah. You know him really well.
He's my brother,
Yeah, he's your brother.
That's my brother, yeah. I do tie Rakhi on him every year.
Oh, brilliant. And you know, almost introduced him to Indian culture in a lot of ways. Because I see him dancing on Bollywood songs sometimes.
I don't know if we call it dancing, but yeah, he tries. He tries. Chris, you know, when we first both came here to this city, like, I think a lot of people who come to this city, they have some sort of hope and dream, and they're hoping to somehow make it in whatever they're trying. Yes. Whether it's family, career, whatever it is, a new start, you know. And he came here and he has worked so hard to get to the point where he is today. But he is the most down-to-earth, humble guy. He's literally the same guy that I met all those years ago. Nothing has changed. We've gotten older, we've gotten more mature, we've gotten a bit wiser, but deep down, he's the same guy. Like, and I love him for that. I know the perception can be whatever it is. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you know Chris, anyone who's interacted with Chris for just 5 minutes will give you the same answer that I'm giving, because that's his reality.
Well, we all love Chris Wade. I'll just say that. A lot of us do. Yeah. But I also know your favorite song is one of Chris Wade's songs, is it? The Love. And why do you cover your ears when he sings it?
I mean, to be fair, In It for Love is a tune. It's a good song. Yes. The other ones, I'm not too sure. You'll kill me for saying
Well,
this.
yeah, I think, Chris, if you're watching this, we apologize. We love all your songs, just to say that on the camera.
We'll talk later.
Brilliant. But Preeti, you're also into dancing,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
How did that happen and how did all the dance reels start coming about?
I've been dancing since I was 3. I've been performing since I was 3
Yes.
years old.
Yes.
My Masi growing up, she had a dance and music school in New York. So I've literally been performing since I was 3 years old. I've even done, I've auditioned for Boogie Woogie when it came to the States.
Oh,
if you
brilliant.
remember
Did you
that
make
show.
it?
No.
Okay.
Javed Jaffrey.
Their
One
loss.
day I'll meet you.
Yeah.
And,
Their loss.
dance has always been a part of my life.
Yeah.
We're a very musical family. Like my Nana Ji was a musician and singer. My Masi is a singer. My mama is a singer. My mom knows how to play sitar, tabla, dholak, all these things. So we're a very musical family.
Yeah.
So I always grew up in that, and dance is just a natural extension of that. I've been dancing my entire life. So dance is just a
doing
part of
reels.
me. And as far as the reels go, so before reels, when there were just videos on Instagram, one day I decided to post a dance. It's such a big part of my life. I never really shared it on Instagram,
Yeah,
and I just decided to do it once. It was just like a practice that
And
I
it
was
was a
doing.
hit.
And I was like, I never knew you could do this, which is crazy for me because it's such a natural part of my life. Like I was a part of Shamak here.
Okay.
I've danced a lot, so it was cool to share that part, and I love that that everyone likes it, or at least I hope they do. And if
We
you
do,
don't,
we
it's
do.
okay. Just keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling. But it's just a very big part of my life.
Right. Your recent story with Nidhi Kumar, right?
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
So Nidhi, I've known since my Shamak days.
Yes.
Since she was a kid, she's done so well. I'm so
Oh,
proud of her.
we all love her and we love her dancing.
I love
That's
her.
amazing.
You talk about hard work.
Yes.
That girl has it. She's phenomenal. So just before the pandemic, 2020,
Yeah.
January 2020, she's like, Preeti, we need to do a dance together. It's been so long. I said, yeah, let's do a dance
Yes.
together. So we did a song together. And that video just recently crossed 30 million on YouTube.
Wow. Hats off to you girls. Hats off.
To Nidhi. I mean, it was all her
hats off,
choreo,
yes.
but it was phenomenal. And when she said that to me, I was like, 30 million? That's
Oh, wow.
insane.
That is
30 million people.
amazing.
It's insane, but that is YouTube. That's insane. And that shows her trajectory in this
Absolutely.
world. She's only grown and grown and grown.
Yes.
And when I talk about hard work
Yeah.
and posting every day and creating content,
She does it very well, doesn't she? Yes.
She is a great example of how to own your authenticity and yourself in the space of social media.
Yeah. She shows up every day. I don't think she ever takes a break. I don't know when she gets
No.
a break, by
No.
the way. But she shows up every day, always presenting something new.
Yes.
And something
100%.
challenging. And something you
Totally.
want to almost say, oh, I want to do that. I don't know how that girl does it,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Brilliant. Which style of dancing is your favorite? Would you like to do?
I love Bhangra
Yes.
and I love Bollywood.
Right.
I'm give me the drama, the Madhuri, just give me the drama. I'm in for that.
Brilliant. So, talking of Bollywood,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've interviewed a ton of Bollywood stars.
Not as many as I'd like, to
Really?
be fair.
You need to invite them to Virgin a bit more.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, but whoever you've interacted with, who's been your favorite so far?
Out of any celebrity or Bollywood?
Bollywood.
Well, the day that we're filming this,
Mhm.
it's Ranveer Singh's birthday today.
Yes.
So I didn't get to interview him, but I interacted with him. And so this was back in 2015, I met him. He was just as crazy then as he is now. So that is him to a T. And I love that. He had this energy.
Yes.
At that time, I think they were promoting Dil Dhadakne Do.
Yeah.
And the energy was unreal.
Right.
Priyanka Chopra,
Yes.
I know it's very controversial, but she is one of the kindest people that I have met.
Wow.
Always lovely,
Mm-hmm.
always so professional.
Yes.
No attitude or air about her at all. And we've met her a few times.
Right.
Fantastic. So
Wow.
lovely. Sonam Kapoor, we had a chance to interview her as well. Amazingly. So kind, so
Really?
chill, so relaxed. Over the years in my career, what we've realized, and this I think goes blanket statement for Hollywood, Bollywood, the bigger the star, usually the cooler they are.
Yeah.
As in the more chill, because they've been in this game for a long time and they've worked really hard to get to the top.
Yes.
So they understand that the press is a part of this
Yes.
journey.
Mm.
So you have to be kind to the people around you. And you can tell when someone's being genuine.
Yes.
And they genuinely are kind to the people around them. It's very rare that you'll find an A-list who's not kind to the people around them.
Wow.
Very rare.
That's really interesting to know because the public perception can be different, right?
Totally, yeah.
They get labels as attitude or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very interesting to know now that you know all these stars firsthand and you interview most of them. So outside of Bollywood, who else?
Favorite interviews, there's so many. Another controversial name, Will Smith.
Mm-hmm. What's Will Smith like?
Amazing.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
Like when the cameras are off,
Yes.
this man is even nicer. Even nicer. I remember he was here for, I think, the release of Suicide Squad a few years ago. And we had done this whole show with him and we did the interview, wrapped it up. He was amazing, brilliant, like did a great job. Cameras have shut. There's no one watching him.
Yes.
And that's when you know like the real person, right? When no cameras are around.
Yes.
We're just waiting to kind of leave the venue. And there was this girl who was working at the movie theater and she was so excited and she just wanted a photo with Will. And you could tell she was like about to cry. She was so excited. And I think his team were kind of like, hey, we need to clear the way. And Will kind of just saw her and he just walked straight up to her. He was like, guys, please. He just walked straight up to her, gave her a hug, took a photo and said, thank you so much.
That's really sweet.
Said, now you got to go back to work before you get in trouble. And then he went back. There were no cameras around.
Wow.
He wasn't doing it for the public. There was no one there.
Yes.
That's the kind of guy he was then.
Well, I have just become a fan of Will Smith. So that's
like, you know, like that. So, I mean, there have been so many cool, memorable interviews. If we sit here, we start listing, there'll be too many. But
amazing.
It's been cool,
It's really cool. So, a lot of people want to do RJing.
Yes.
What would your advice be to anybody who wants to do this?
Okay, there's two ways. So, I'll take the example of like Chris and I. So, for me, I knew I wanted to do this when I was quite young, when I was like 17.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to broadcast. Like in college, that's what I majored in. I majored in broadcast.
So you always knew this is kind of...
Yeah, I took kind of like the technical route.
Yes.
Which is why at 22, I was able to get the job because I had experience under my belt already. Chris, for example, didn't know he wanted to do radio until he was about 23, 24.
Right.
He did like a sales thing beforehand.
Yes.
But there was something in him. Now, there's a difference between I can talk socially and I can talk on the radio. Two very different things.
Yes, of course.
When you're live on the radio,
you're live.
You're live. That's it. You have to be able to carry that conversation.
You don't get a second chance.
No.
Yeah?
No, that's it. What you've said is what you've said. My advice would be to start at the bottom and work your way up. You know, like learn about radio, learn about the station. No job is too big or too small for you. You know, my first internship was in high school. And I think one of my first jobs was cleaning out the prize closet. Like every day I would come in.
Yeah.
I would organize the DVDs and the t-shirts.
Amazing.
I would call back the winners for the day and say, congratulations, you won 2 tickets to see Lenny Kravitz. You can pick it up on this day. That's what I did day in and day out. Wow. But through that, I learned. Every day I would ask, is there anything more that I could do? And they'd give me one more task. Is there anything else that I can do? Yep, you can do one more thing. Yep, you can assist the, you know? So you have to work your way up. You have to be immersed in it.
That's amazing, Preeti. You're a great example of hard work and grabbing opportunities along the way and asking for more.
Yeah.
Asking for more and say, what else can I do for you? How else can I grow with you?
Exactly.
Right?
I feel like, I don't know why. Do you feel like that's kind of disappeared these days?
It's less.
Right?
It's less, I think.
It's
people just want to make it big very quickly. Like, you know, this 20-something wants to be super famous, super quick. Just now.
It doesn't happen like that, guys. Yes. Like, I understand if your video goes viral, great, but you have to understand that even if you're talking about content creators, not radio, these people have worked for years. Yes. Like, they have posted daily, day in, day out, thinking of content, original content every day. There's a lot of hard work associated with everything that they do. Like, to me, I think it's a generational thing, I guess. To me, I don't understand how someone wouldn't go, what more can I do?
Yeah.
When you're immersed in an opportunity. So that's my gyan for the day.
That's a fabulous gyan for the day. But talking of hard work, your day starts very early in the morning.
Yeah.
And I think you do the early morning show.
Yeah.
What time do you wake up and what is your typical day like? What time do you go to sleep?
I wake up at anywhere between 3:45 and 4.
Oh my God.
Every day.
Every day.
And then my day up until about 1 o'clock is kind of the same.
Right.
Because I wake up, I get to the studio, I do the show,
yes.
whatever we have to do after the show. And then I go to the gym. And then from 1 p.m., it's kind of like a free-for-all.
Right.
Could be anything.
So you start pretty early. And do you wrap up early?
Probably not early enough. I feel like it's hard, right? Because you want to have a life as well.
You need a social life, right? And
what are you going to talk about on the radio if you're not if you're not living life? Like you need experiences to be able to share, right?
Yes.
So it's hard. I do try to get to bed by 10.
That's a good day.
But that's a good day.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's later, depending on what we have going on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We try not to schedule anything that's like a late night on a weekday. Try our best.
And RJing is not only the live part of the show, because I see you guys creating a lot of content offline for social media, right? And for the social media web pages and just creating teasers and buzzes out there. So that I imagine takes a lot of your time otherwise also.
So we do have a digital team at Virgin Radio, and we're blessed with a great digital team, and they do a great job in a lot of that stuff that you see. But social media is very new to radio. You know, that wasn't a part of radio. A lot of people will make the joke that I got into the radio because I didn't have to worry about what I looked on camera. But now we have to worry about what we look on camera.
You have to, yes.
I think it's just a very natural progression of the way, entertainment and the way content is going. And we kind of do that stuff too. There are challenges that our producers put us up to. There's stuff that we have to film.
Yeah.
Just to become a natural part of the day.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to one of my favorite rounds, which we call it Direct Dil Se.
Okay.
This is the hamper round. So
I'm going to win it. I feel it.
We've got a brilliant hamper to give away.
Okay.
This is a round where you just answer what comes to your mind first.
Okay.
There's no polishing of the answers.
I just gotta do it.
Okay. And just be honest about it.
Okay.
So we'd love to know more about you.
Sure.
Brilliant. Hollywood or Bollywood?
Bollywood.
Dubai or New York?
If I answered this question, I'm going to be in big trouble. I will abstain. Okay.
Well, you only get one abstain then. You have to make a choice.
I'll give you an answer.
Yes.
My heart will always and forever be New York City.
Right.
New York City is the first love of my life.
Yeah.
And it will always
After
be the
having
love of my
spent
life.
15 years in Dubai.
Always be. Home is home.
Home is home, yeah.
My home is New York, and there's no city like New York City. And I will stand by that till the end of time. Dubai has become a second home.
Yes.
But my heart will always be New York City.
Well, Dubai is a second home for a lot of us.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So a lot of us are expats out here.
But ghar is ghar.
Ghar is ghar, yeah. Ghar ka khana is ghar ka khana.
Exactly.
Ghar ka khana or bahar ka khana?
Ghar ka khana.
What do you like to eat?
Kadi chawal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you cook?
Well, it's debatable. I can follow a recipe.
Yes.
But my husband is a better cook, so I feel like why
even made the effort?
I mean, it's fine. Let him do his thing.
Nice one. Social media or traditional media?
What do you label as traditional media?
RJing without the live videos and all of that stuff.
I think they're too different to
or
pick.
Or TV, for example.
I think they're too different to pick. I think social media is amazing, and it's great when it's used right.
Right. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea during a show break?
Coffee in the show for sure. I always say coffee is practical, chai is emotional.
Chai is my heart.
Chai is an emotion.
Yeah. Having the red,
it's an emotion.
Ginger.
Coffee is practicality. You need it to function.
Right.
Chai is to satisfy the emotion.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next one. Hosting a celebrity interview or hosting a listener call-in show? Difficult one?
Yeah,
Difficult
that's hard.
To choose? Yeah, that's hard.
I think, you know what? Listeners are amazing, man. The stories, everyone has a story. Every single person has a story. And sometimes the calls that we get, they've made me laugh, they've made me cry, they've made me angry, they've made me sad, heartbroken. That's hard to do. But every one of us has a story. And I love that we get to tell everyone's story on the radio.
Well, you tell beautiful stories, right?
Thanks.
Which one has been your favorite one or the one you will never forget? Because I listen to a lot of call-in stories that you guys put and some of them are like different. They're just amazing. And
you know, we've had some amazing stories from like helping someone propose.
Yes.
We helped do a proposal live on the radio, which was such an amazing moment to be part of.
A special moment to be part of. Right?
We've had, unfortunately, an incident where, a family came on air to talk about how they almost lost their child because of pool safety.
Yes.
We've had those kind of stories.
Yes.
We've had stories where someone called in and they said they don't have friends and they were crying, and we helped throw them a party and make friends. Like, we've had these connections. Radio is an interesting medium that way, and I don't think there's any other medium like that.
Why do you say that?
It's an instant connection. No other platform can do that. What we do live, instantly, tap into your mood. No one else can do that. Everything else is wonderful, like I said.
Yes.
Social media, podcasts, TV, everything. But radio is the only medium where you can pick up the phone and instantly connect with us.
Yes.
And
you're
share
speaking to a live person, and it's not pre-recorded and
nothing.
It's out there, and your
It's
expressions, your feelings, whatever you say is real.
completely unfiltered, unedited. So if you're feeling low that morning, you can call us literally instantly and speak to us.
Yeah.
Name me another platform that can do that. Radio is so unique in that way, you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think we all love radio, which is why it is my best friend when I'm traveling around in town and, driving down school runs. My road friend, as I say.
I love that. That's the aim. That is the aim of radio, is to be that
when
friend.
you're alone, you don't feel alone.
That's
basically.
exactly our aim every
you're
single day.
You're my company when nobody's there. So.
For sure.
Brilliant.
I love
that. All right, let's move on. Pop music or rock music?
Pop.
Okay. Comedy or serious news?
Comedy.
All right. And solo hosting or co-hosting?
Co-hosting.
I think I know the answer there.
It's boring. I mean, I can talk, but it's nice to have someone to talk to.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And I think the three of you do an amazing job.
you.
So anyways, it's a great one.
I appreciate
Well, that brings us to the end of this section.
Did I win?
You won the hamper. You've killed it. We'll give it to you towards the end of the show, but I have a few more questions. Tell us your biggest learnings in life. What gyan can you share with somebody who loves you, adores you, your biggest fan, but wants to know more about you?
Don't be afraid to be yourself and to be confident in your abilities. I've said this before, but I'll say it again because I think it's really important. I think as women, we sometimes tend to not share our accomplishments.
Yes.
Like we hide it.
We undersell it so
all
much
the time.
More. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
And it's not right. It's just not right. Like, why is it pompous if I'm listing my accomplishments that I've worked very hard for?
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is a blanket, so please don't come after me. And I don't mean that every man is like this or every woman is like this, but it happens often enough where if a man then lists his accomplishments, we all do this. Why? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yes.
Again, this does not happen all the time, and the tide is changing. But unfortunately, I feel like as women, we inherently tend to shy away from saying we know the answer or confident. So I would say for women and specifically, if you have a skill, man, say it. Just say it. Just say it. Share. And as far as just being unique and being you, be you. When this whole social media stuff started, I tried being very curated in my approach. I would only do photos when I have makeup on, and things like that.
Yes.
But that's not me. I know I'm wearing makeup today. But what I'm saying is that's a part of me, but that's not me every day.
Yes.
And if you look on my Instagram, you will not be shocked when you meet me in person.
Right.
Because I am...
It's not a curated feed. It's you.
It's
you
me.
With or without makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel especially because a lot of people want to get into social media, you have to be authentic. People are really quick at picking out the fakes.
Yes.
They know when you're faking it.
I think they follow you for a few days and they'll know what's projected feed versus
and
what
real.
the real day looks
so
like, right? So
just be real. Just be you. Listen, there's a lot of noise out there. It's fine. As you get older, you'll realize. I feel like your 20s, you're what people think. Your 20s are to experiment, and then your 30s is when you realize what you truly love and what you don't.
Yes.
I feel like 28-year-old Priti would probably get peer pressure to be going out when she didn't want to and to just want to sit at home or stay out later than what she wanted.
Right.
But now, 37-year-old Priti will literally just be like, guys, I'm out of here. I don't want to do this.
And do you say no to work or do you say no to, projects?
Yeah,
things?
there will be times I'm very grateful and lucky to be in a position where I can say, hey, you know what? This brand is not me.
How difficult is it to say no?
It is difficult, but I pride myself and my team also prides themselves on making sure that I'm as authentic as I can.
Yes.
If a brand really doesn't fit into what I'm doing,
right,
I don't feel comfortable doing it. Unless we can figure out a way to make it work.
Yes.
But if I don't like something or if I'm not into a product, I'll be very honest. I'll be like, I don't think this is going to work.
Right.
But I think that's important.
I think that's being authentic, as you talked
Yeah.
about, right?
Yeah.
So let me show the real Preeti. It's amazing. So what's coming up, Preeti? What does the future look like? What's the what's the plan?
So somewhere in between working since I was 17 towards this goal and actually getting the goal, and then actually doing the job, and then actually doing the outside work, my little plan that I had made never got the next 5 years.
You manifested doing something which you did do today.
Yes.
So you've already accomplished your goal in a way.
Yes.
But what's next?
Yeah. So like I never expected to get to this goal.
Yes.
At the point that I did. I'm very lucky.
You're 37. You've got half your life ahead of you. What are we doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. Existential crisis, is that what they call it? I don't know what I want to do. You know what? Sometimes I feel like, we come from a generation of hustle, hustle, hustle. What are you doing next?
Yes.
We don't come from a generation of let's enjoy what we've created. So I want to try to do that a bit more, like really enjoy what I'm doing and be present in the moment of what I'm doing. Listen, the ambitious side of me will never let me rest.
Of course.
And my mind will always be thinking. If you ask me right now what's happening, I can't say.
Okay.
But I can say watch this space over the next year. Something will pop up. But it's just like, I feel like we need to, if you were asking for Gyan earlier, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I think for people of our generation, like the millennials, the older millennials especially, we don't enjoy what we've kind of sowed.
Yeah.
So I try to do that every year, like try to be a little bit more grateful, a little bit more present, focus on what's happening right now, and then worry about the future later. This was a great way to avoid the question.
Brilliant job. But brilliant Gyan, and I think enjoy the journey is what Priti Malik says.
Yes.
Manifesting her way, working terribly hard, really, really hard, but also enjoying the journey as she becomes the leading RJ of the town. Thank you, Priti, for this amazing, amazing time. We've loved having you over, and I hope we come back in a couple of months and we'll discuss what the next future looks like.
No pressure.
Before we close, empowered and ambitious. It's got a little message of it says when women support each other, incredible things happen. It's got a
100%.
bottle for you for the gym. It's got some shopping vouchers for jewelry for you and some nice candles for a nice relaxing spa bath.
Thank you. This is amazing. I love it. I won.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Preeti.
Thank you so much.